What's up, Social Cam, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube? This is Garnett again, and this is another segment of Musical Wisdom. I actually have a question from somebody from YouTube, and this is what they wrote. They said, "What's up? Love all your videos. Can you do a video on giant steps, the chords, and spell it out, please? Because you have nice voicings when you play. Thank you. And is there an easy way to put chords in other keys?" All right. I guess this is going to have to be a two-part thing. I'm going to focus on the second part. Is there an easy way to put chords in other keys? The answer is yes. And we're not going to use the transpose button. We'll just get that out of the way. You know, in order to progress musically, you cannot use the transpose button because you're robbing yourself of what you can learn from learning all your keys the right way. Now, I have to say that I have used the transpose button, and the times that I have used it was when a previous keyboard player put their thing on +3, +4, whatever, or -1, -2, and I had to reset it back to 0 so I could play the piano the right way. You know, technology is great, but it can make you lazy. So please do not use the transpose button. It's never ever cool. You're only hurting yourself. So with that being said, yes, there is an easy way, and the easy way to go about putting chords in other keys is just using the number system. There were a few videos where I used scale degrees. Like for example, if I'm in the key of C, I had C is your 1, D is your 2, E is your 3, F is the 4, G is the 5, A is the 6, B is the 7, and C is back to the 1 again. So, alright? So, now each scale degree has a chord. So, for example, C major is a 1, D minor is your 2, E minor is your 3, F major is your 4, G major is your 5, A minor is your 6, B diminished is your 7, back to the 1, which is C major. Alright, so now the thing that can help you out is plugging in your numbers. So if you know your scales, that'll definitely help. So if you want to do that same kind of concept in, let's say, E flat, for example, right? Just make sure that the shape of the chord is still the same. You're just going to use triads just to make it simpler. So in my left hand I have C, in my right hand I have E, G, C. So what I do is I make sure I have the same kind of shape. So I would jump to E flat in my left hand, I would jump to G, B flat, E flat, right? So now, the thing is, the sound has to be consistent. The sound of the chord has to be consistent for it to make sense in understanding how to move in the scales and stuff. So, for example, I'm going to do this. E flat is my 1, F minor is my 2, G minor is my 3, A flat major is my 4, B flat major is my 5, C minor is my 6, D diminished is my 7, back to E flat major, which is my 1, right? So kind of just think about it as like being a grid. So if you should be able to plug in whatever chord you want, depending on what chord you're supposed to play at the time, right? So this works for the simple chords, it works for all the complex chords. Like for example, if I use let's use a chord like this. Right? So what I'm playing here is, in my left hand I have D, A, E, and then with my thumb, in my right hand I'm playing F and G, C, E, and G. So, right? Now let's say I want to, play that chord in, in A minor, right? So I'll jump up a fifth, right? So what I'll do is this. I make sure I look at the shape of what the shape of the chord my hand looks like. So I have my left hand D to A is a fifth, A to E is a fifth. So now I have to start on A, right? So A to E is a fifth, E to B is a fifth, right? So I got the left hand together. Now, my right hand, I had F, G, that's a major second. So listen for that sound, right? From G to C is a fourth, right? From C to E is a major third, right? And then from E to G is a minor third, right? So now I have to make sure that that shape is consistent when I move to the A minor chord, right? So I have now C, D is the thumb. That sound has to be consistent. G, and D and G, that's a fourth, so that has to be consistent. B to G, that's a major third, and then I have D to B, that's another, that's a minor third, sorry. So now notice how the sound is still consistent, right? So now I'm jumping around, so right? So I'm jumping around using intervals, and the shape is still the same, and the sound is still consistent. So knowing those intervals and knowing your numbers, that definitely helps. And yeah, it'll take a while. It'll take a while, you know, because there's a lot of brain work involved in this, because you have to know what's related to what. The key is this: when you understand the relationship between two chords or even two notes, for example, you'll never ever forget it, right? So just the fact that I remember that D to A is a perfect fifth away from each other, it's automatic, right? So if I want to go from A to B flat, A to B flat to a minor second, or a half a step, or a semitone, wherever school you come from, that's, you know, that's what I guess you call it, whatever. So that sound is still consistent. So now if I want to go from B flat to E flat, right? The sound is still there. So B flat to E flat is a perfect fifth. So knowing those relationships and knowing the intervals, that really helps. So remembering the number system, knowing, you know, 1, 2, all the way to 7, that'll definitely help. And then learning the intervals, knowing the shape of the chord, what it looks like and what it sounds like. So that'll definitely help. I hope that this, you know, answered your question. If you have any other questions, you know, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at GFlat, GEEPHLAT. Hit me up on Facebook, Garnett Walters. There's a picture of me playing keyboards or whatever. Hit me up on YouTube, GEEPHLAT. Just hit up the inbox or, you know, social cam, whatever. Again, I hope this answers the question. If you have any other questions or comments or whatever, just let me know. All right? Peace.